All right, welcome back. So somebody else came onto that same video about what's his name, Kayla, and yeah, somebody came onto that same video and then made a longer comment, and I wanted to comment on that really quickly. Let me see here. There you go. Share. So we're talking about Damian and Kayla again. They just he filed for divorce, I think. Yeah, he just filed for divorce. He moved into their $2 million home. She stayed in their $7 million home, right? Basketballer. I'm not sure if she's a stay-at-home wife or something like that, but anyway, that's them right there. All right, so but this person made a comment. I'm going to read the comment to you real quickly. This comment is actually funny. Every time I see somebody say something like this, it's still funny, right? Let me lift the whole comment and put it here for you so you guys can see it. Make it make sense. Let's make it make sense all the way, right? It says prenup is stupid, right? It says prenup is stupid. You will lose in the courts. Only foolish Western men still gets married. Shout out to you if you left this comment. Shout out to you. What do y'all think? Is it right? Is it wrong? If you think it's right, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's wrong, put a 2 in the chat. If you think he has a point, put a 3 in the chat. Let's talk about it really quickly. Okay, we've talked about this again already. This is the one. See, the part that really concerned some of this men the most about this whole thing is prenup. That's the part that concerns them the most. The money. The money. Right? The money. The other person earlier, the segment we did earlier, said these dudes will never learn. Protect your effing bread with a trust. F that prenup. Let me see if it's the same person. Is it the same person? No, it's not the same person. It's not the same person. So you think it's right. D-Love say he's right. Prenup is stupid. You will lose in the court. Only foolish men, Western men will still gets married. You think it's right about that, D-Love? Only foolish Western men still gets married? Is this true? Can you elaborate? What do you mean? Only foolish Western men still gets married. I just want to know what your opinions are. D-Love says 2. Oh, you mean it's wrong? Oh, is it right? Okay, 2 is wrong, right? If it's right, it's 1. 2 is wrong. If he has a point, 3, right? Okay, so you think it's wrong. Only stupid Western men. You know, Mr. Akolawa of TikTok thinks that, does he think that? No, I don't think so. I think it's confused. I think it's straddling the fence. It's not sure if what he wants. Right? Yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think, because again, I do have an opinion. Prenup is stupid. I don't think prenup is stupid. This is an emotional comment at most, you know. It's an emotional comment, and that's my push against people that have a lot to say about prenup. Why are you so emotional? Jesus Christ. Why are you so emotional about anytime you hear anything prenup or divorce? Okay, I get the divorce part because it's annoying, you know, like, wow, people just throwing in the towel so quick. I get that, but everything that's connected to that, you have to be emotional about it. Don't you think we need to check that? Gracious Goodness says, I care about the holistic everything to do with the marriage. I'm not a lawyer, so about prenup is good. Prenup is not stupid, right? Prenup, just like everything else, just has its limitations. That's all I say about it. It has limitations, right? It has limitations. If you think prenup is going to protect your heart, it's not. You still collect. right? You still collect wood out in the streets. Your breakfast will even be hotter because precisely because you set too much expectations around prenup. You collect. Yeah. Your expectations, your disappointment is as large as your expectations, right? There's no such thing as disappointment if you don't have expectations. We all have expectations. Disappointments are part of life. Rejections are part of life. Managing your expectations will help you deal with these issues better. That's the most you can make out of all of it. That's the most you can make out of all of it, right? So prenup is not stupid, so it's wrong. You will lose in the court. That's not necessarily true. There are some prenups are better than others. If you wrote it with a pen in your living room, it's probably gonna get thrown out in the court. You're right. Right? If you have it structured properly and they put seals around it and it's ironclad and they even create a second layer of a trust around the names on it and you put assets away in it, it's probably going to be hard to throw it away in court. But then that leads us to the question, why are you getting married if you have to put this amount of protection around yourself, right? It's a question. Well, you know, these women are moving mad. Well, yeah, I know, but maybe consider not getting married, right? Maybe consider not getting married at all. How about that, right? Because, and when you're doing that, make sure you don't have any children too, because child support court will drag you, you collect inside that court too. If you're spreading your seed anyhow around and you don't have money like Nick Cannon, you still collect too. There's no difference, you know. Only foolish Western men still get married. That statement, I'm just curious, like, on what grounds is this statement made, right? Only foolish Western men still get married. I'm trying to see all the angles this person is coming from. Only foolish Western men. It's a talking point. It's not like it's new to me. I've heard it before. But I usually just ignore it because there is usually simps that talk like that. They're like recovering simps that will never recover. They talk like that. Right? So, and so I kind of like, I just leave them alone, right? But then I'm hearing too much of it. It might be a real issue to it, right? Why? What would make a person think only foolish Western men still gets married when the most successful people are still the ones that are married in every respect, particularly men now, right? So what is a person going through to say that? What is that person going through to have to say that, right? One, they live in the eastern side of the world. They live in the Arab countries. Usually they don't. They just fantasizing about living there. They are fantasizing about it, but usually they don't. Or they live in Africa where, you know, they have the freedom to have as many wives as possible. Yeah, nah. In fact, the people that usually talk like that from Africa are talking from a face me, I face you somewhere with maybe a flatmate. Sometimes they have a flatmate and they're struggling and they're trying to. It's usually people that have no experience with anything that are talking like that. There's no. Even the words of grown people, seasoned men, they can't shape their mouth to say that. It's just too far from reality. It's a fantasy of some sort that makes a person say that. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay not married so I can protect myself. That's the only solution and that's it. That's the solution and that's it. Period. Baba, you go still collect. It's not a solution. It's not, because guess what? You probably still want to sleep around. If you are able to sleep around, if anybody even wants you in the first place. Because that's another layer of the problems for a lot of people talking like this. Right? But let me just tell you like this, okay? there's no logical, like, if you try to make an absolute logical sense out of people getting married, it doesn't exist. Okay. No, people fall in love. Okay, it is what it is. They fall in love. They fantasize about the idea that the person is going to be with them for the rest of their lives. Is that always true? No. Right? We're talking about this guy now. He's just filed for divorce. They've been married for, what, I think 2 years or something like that. Right? So he thought it was going to be forever. It's not forever. That's not really a marriage thing. That's just life. I don't know if you're aware. Right? You plan, right? How do they say that saying? They say you plan, but it's God that does something. They're saying like that, right? You plan, you try to make the most out of it, and for a lot of times you can make the good ways out of your life just by having a plan, right? Is it going to be accurately exactly with the way you plan? No, there's no guarantee in life. But the idea of falling in love and marrying a person that actually fell in love with you too, that is an experience that you just can't buy with money. You can't buy it with money. Some people will do that on the streets of Vegas. Some people will do it in their bedroom in Africa. But they have that same feeling, those butterflies, that experience right there, right? And they won't trade it for the world, not in that moment at least. You want to call them stupid? Be my guest. You want to call them foolish? Be my guest. Okay? But anything that anybody is buying in life, right? Anything they fancy, the idea of liking something, someone, somewhere, it's all a fantasy. It all gets watered down. Once you experience it, it's like, hey, wow. That's called life, bro. That's just called life. And we all feel that way. If there's an exception, you're a psychopath somewhere, sociopath, you don't feel that way, good luck to you. But most of us, we don't operate that way. We like the experience. Even after we don't collect shaggy, right? We want to do it again, right? So if we know that we're going to want to do it again, and I will bet my monthly livelihood on it that you want this badly, right? But you're having a hard time somewhere, right? So if you want it, right? And you want what you want without telling yourself in the mirror, like, no, I don't want it. No, I really want it. No, but I think I don't want it. But I'm not sure if I really want it. But why am I always in conversations about it if I don't want it? If you're confused, I understand. Listen, it's like an epidemic everywhere. People are leaving their relationships, right? For reasons, for specific reasons. You might not agree with the reasons, but those reasons are reasons enough for you to lose your family. The only thing you can do about that is learn something new. Okay? Keep an open mind. Right? Keep an open mind. Learn something beyond black and white for once in your life. Learn something else beyond right and wrong. Right? All the wisest people in the history of mankind, that's what they've had to do. Including the ones that have to go and fight wars and build nations for us and help us with civilizations that we're enjoying today. All of those people, right? They've all had to do the same thing. And sometimes they're wrong, bro. Sometimes they did everything that's seemingly right and they just end up with the wrong result. It's not the end of the world if you're still breathing, right? But if you're reacting and your commentaries are coming out of a place of emotion, and it's worse when you're not willing to admit that it's emotions. About you go keep collecting or telling you. Sorry. It just gets worse. Okay? It just gets worse. Right? Because ultimately, I already think you are right. Okay?
You're right.
These are your ideologies. I can't argue with it. But what I can do is share my own insights with you. Why is that being right disconnected from the right results? Why are you not getting the results you're looking for? Don't answer me. Just answer the person in the mirror. This is when you start going to the next level. When you start asking yourself such questions, that level of self-awareness is another experience entirely on its own. Yeah, so prenup is stupid, my opinion? No, prenup is not stupid. Prenup is a good thing. Is prenup going to protect you? Does it have limitations? Yes. Is prenup going to protect your heart from heartbreak? No, because that's actually your main problem. It's not going to protect you from that. There's something else you need to learn when it comes to that. And you need to first of all acknowledge everything else, and then we can talk about that. You know, D-Love says, I don't think prenup is stupid, but I also think a statement, only foolish Western men get married, is wrong. Yeah. The whole statement is just, I don't think it's wrong. It's emotionally, it was generated by emotions. That's all it is, okay? And the worst part about it is camouflage as logic. That's the worst part about it, you know? And there's a Bible verse that can actually back what I just said up, but I yield. She just say he's foolish to me. Feels like, you know what, Ola, you're doing this, that, and that. You know what? No. Let's not, like, well, let's.
You doing what?
Let's just tell him. Let's just tell him what he is.
You think so? They're wise?
No, I want them to hear the message. You know, a lot of people have gone through a lot of stuff and they're just coming up with all kind of gimmicky talking points. But it's a fact. They don't know any better, you know. If this was 6 months ago, I just tell them to rapture.
Rapture with it and where you did. Rapture than live me.
No. But we're going somewhere. We're not going to be rapturing people. We're going somewhere. It sounds like a man that has collected woto. Yes. It's emotions. Right? There's more to these things than right and wrong. Of course. A bunch of grown boys that don't want to be adults. Listen, that's what woto will do to you now. Sweet fantasy baby. I've got a sweet fantasy baby, Mariah Carey. Listen, adulthood, absolutely no be beans. This is real world. Welcome to the real world, bro. Somebody broke your heart. Listen, we've all been there. If you've been through life enough, you've been there. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. I promise you. I promise you also it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright, okay? Yeah, even though the world is devolving, as y'all call it, it's gonna be alright. You don't have a choice anyway, right? You do have a choice, but it's gonna be alright, okay?